Welcome everyone. My name is Naomi Brisard and I am the Community Engagement Manager in Orlando, Florida. I've been with Rise Against Hunger for 2 years now, and in that time, I've had the pleasure of leading thousands of volunteers all over the world in meal packing events. Our events are fun, exciting, and most of all, we get to have a great time while ending world hunger.
And hey, my name is Chelsie Kolberg. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm the nutrition advisor for Rise Against Hunger. I test recipes using our meal bags, and I'm located here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Welcome to our first ever Rise Against Hunger Cooking in Quarantine. Before we begin, we are going to wash our hands because, as you know, that is a first step in a really good meal. Let's get into it. Okay, we are back. Chelsie and I share a passion for cooking nutritious food, and today we'd like to share about how Rise Against Hunger meals are prepared by our partners around the globe. We'll also show you 2 new creative ways to prepare the meals with our own unique spin on ingredients, flavors, and more.
Rise Against Hunger sends meals all over the globe. Most meals are cooked in large batches and served to students at school lunch, like in this picture. Our meals are made up of rice, dried soy, dried veggies, and this micronutrient powder from Kraft Heinz, great sponsor. And in places with few resources, our meals are boiled in water and served plain, as is. In other locations, they'll have a local garden where they can put in some fresh local produce. And in other locations, they have animals that they can serve to make these meals super nutritious. You have to remember that a lot of the people that eat our meals only get 1 or 2 meals a day. So adding animal source foods ensures that we're giving them the ultimate punch of nutrition in the few meals that they are eating, especially the growing children. So because students at these schools get 1 hot meal a day, they're more likely to attend school. More likely to attend school than stay home and work on the land, which is great. So sending our meals to these schools actually increases attendance and it increases enrollment. And this is especially important for young women. Despite improvements, there is still a gap in opportunities between boys and girls. More and more, improving the lives of women improves the lives of the family and the surrounding communities. Our meals are also delivered in times of great need, like, say, a pandemic. Emergency situations like the coronavirus always hit vulnerable populations the hardest. Imagine your main caregiver is sick. Who's going to feed your family? If the market you visit every day is closed, where do you get your food? Rise Against Hunger works with partners around the world to deliver food to those who need it most. And we don't just do food. We'll do hygiene kits and medical aid and other things to help people maintain their dignity in times of crisis. I also want to say that while our meals are great temporary solutions, I think we can all agree that we need to do more than just deliver meals to people to end world hunger. This is why we started our Empowering Communities pathway. These pathways have projects that help communities with nutrition and agriculture skills and resources, and we work with local experts to design programs that build confidence and empower people to make their own healthy food choices. It's our goal that one day, people won't need our meals anymore. But until then, let's see some creative ways that we can actually eat these meals. Naomi, what are you doing in your kitchen?
Thanks, Chelsie. Today, I'm going to use a Rise Against Hunger meal to make vegan lentil patties over rice with a sauteed vegetable medley. The ingredients I'll be using today, let me share with you. For the vegan lentil patties, I'll be using 1 cup of brown lentils, rinsed and drained. I'll also be using 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, onions, carrots, green peppers, rolled oats, and our Rise Against Hunger fortified rice, along with a vitamin sachet pack. For the vegetable medley, I'll be using bok choy, green peppers again, carrots, onions, various spices and seasonings, and to top it off, I'll be adding a kick of spice with cayenne pepper. And what I like most about this recipe is it is highly nutritious, flavorful, and incorporates spice. This recipe also shows another way our partners in Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, and various other countries incorporate lentils into their meals. Lentils are very high in protein, nutritious, easily digestible by the body, making it a very nutritious and delicious meal at the same time. I would also like to mention that by adding the Rise Against Hunger vitamin sachet, it increases the nutrient value even more. Now, let's find out what's cooking in your kitchen, Chelsie.
In my kitchen, I'll be using a Rise Against Hunger meal to make chicken rice pulao. I just learned how to say that word properly. This is a traditional East African dish, and I'm really excited because my boss, the director of the Global Impact team, is from Kenya, so this is pretty cool. Let's look at the ingredients for my meal. Okay, over here I've laid it all out. So we have our chicken, our Rise Against Hunger meal bag, which is out of the picture, but trust me, I have it. There's a chopped onion, a couple tomatoes and red pepper. We're gonna need some cashews, jalapeno, spices. Look how beautiful they are in this little bowl. A bunch of spices, y'all. Garlic, ginger, and broth. Okay, this is gonna be a very flavorful dish, but it's actually not very difficult to make, which is exciting. So, as the nutritionist for Rise Against Hunger, I had the opportunity to work with partners and develop several recipes using our meal bags, and this is just one of those. Can I just say, people are creative, y'all. I'm so excited about this recipe because it allows us to connect to another culture. You probably noticed that all these different spices are going to create a very different flavor profile than we're probably used to here in the States, and I love that. You get to walk through a door to a whole new world just by eating a meal. Food is amazing like that. It connects all of us, and everybody eats, which is great.
We are going to get back to work on preparing our recipes. We'll be back later in the broadcast. Until then, stay tuned for more of Cooking in Quarantine.
See you soon.
Hi there, welcome back to Cooking in Quarantine. We are back to share with you how our recipes turned out. Chelsie, how's yours going?
Well, it's so good. Obviously, I couldn't stop eating it so we could record this. But in case you missed this earlier in the broadcast, I'm Chelsie and I'm the nutritionist for Rise Against Hunger. I used a Rise Against Hunger meal bag, I have several of these, to prepare a chicken rice pulao, and it turned out so incredible. Like, the smell is so good. It's like
Chelsie,
my whole
polite, with your mouth open.
yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I have to stop eating. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So all I really used in my kitchen was a small pan. I had a big stock pot and a spoon to stir. that's it for utensils. I did have a lot of ingredients, but it was such an easy meal to make, so feel free to go download this recipe and try it for yourselves. I feel like I'm in East Africa right now. It smells so good. How about yours?
Thank you. That looks amazing, Chelsie. I can taste and smell all the flavors through the screen. And if you missed my introduction earlier, my name is Naomi Brisard, and I'm the Community Engagement Manager in sunny Orlando, Florida. For my dish today, I used a Rise Against Hunger meal to make a vegan lentil patty with sauteed vegetables and our fortified rice. I also added a vitamin sachet to add extra nutrients to this delicious meal right here today. I'm so happy how everything turned out. This meal took about 1 hour to prepare and cook. And what I love most is that you can customize the flavors based on your unique preferences. I decided to add extra cayenne pepper because I'm a girl who likes spice. And you can also blend any type of ingredients you want to make your vegetable medley. I sauteed green peppers, red peppers, bok choy, and carrots. But when it comes to the vegetables, the more color, the better. So no rules apply. Add any type of vegetables you would like to make a delicious meal customized to your liking. Again, there are no rules. Have fun with it, everyone. So in my role as Community Engagement Manager at Rise Against Hunger, I get to work with thousands of volunteers and engage them to package millions of meals like this for school children, for mothers, for families, and ultimately for communities all over the world. Preparing one of these meals in my own kitchen gives me the opportunity to reflect on the impact our organization has for people all over the world. There are many different ways you can prepare a Rise Against Hunger meal and many different ingredients you can use. One thing that remains constant is the passion and the love placed into each meal bag.
That's so beautiful. It's true. Our meal bags are prepared in a lot of different ways. They can be used in school feeding programs, for vocational trainings, maternal health centers, or for emergency response, like the coronavirus. So right now we're all dealing with this pandemic, and unfortunately the coronavirus has placed a huge strain on the food systems around the world. And in times of crisis like this one, vulnerable communities are even more at risk for food insecurity. So think about here in the US. I know a lot of you probably stocked up on grains, pasta, cereals, and canned goods to prepare for the shelter in place, but many families couldn't afford to stock up. Millions of children across this country rely on free or reduced breakfast and lunch from the school nutrition program to provide them with at least 2 meals a day. And with school closures, it's not really happening. So school nutrition associations around the country are partnering with locals to distribute meals at free meal sites. And here in North Carolina, you can actually text Food NC to 877-877 to locate a free meal site near you. So please do that. And if you know families in need, encourage them to find that source too. I also want us to think about outside of the US. Imagine a large family who lives off their farm and how they'll struggle with this pandemic. With the nearest clinic hours away and poorly stocked, these families just don't have access to the same resources as us. With limits on social gatherings, the food system now has a wrench thrown in the cogs. Schools are closed, so all the school meals we've been providing, are these kids even guaranteed 1 hot meal a day anymore? Food shipments also have slowed down from port closures, and if this continues, the poorest will see malnutrition a lot sooner than most. The strain on systems has caused us to have a severe delay in progress. So the United Nations has all these goals for bettering the world, and one of them is zero hunger. But World Vision predicts that the lasting impacts of COVID-19 will be worse than the disease itself. So as high-income countries like ours escape the worst of this pandemic, we cannot forget the vulnerable populations who are going to be facing the same dangers, but with far less resources. So unfortunately, the reality of the situation is things are going to look a lot worse before they get better. But the good news is that there are things we can do to help and there are things we can do together. So right now, my team is working on ways to provide take-home rations and cash vouchers for the immediate needs of people. And we're also working on preventive measures to lessen these devastating impacts of crises in the future. And if you'd like to help us do that, then please donate today.
At Rise Against Hunger, we are oh so appreciative of the support of our volunteers, partners, and donors around the world. They are enabling us to continue to reach the children and families who are counting on us at a time like this one today.
Yes, that's so true. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Go ahead and look up a recipe for another country and test it out. Maybe look up some facts about that country and talk about that with your family over dinner. That'd be a cool idea. And don't forget to tag us at Rise Against Hunger. Let us know how your meals turned out, where they had nailed it, where they had failed it, what happened. And don't forget to stay connected to those around you. Donate to your nearest food bank and follow Rise Against Hunger to stay up to date with what we're doing to rid the world of hunger. All right. Bon appetit from
Cooking in Quarantine.